There is a moment, subtle, almost imperceptible, when the soul stirs awake within the quiet chaos of suffering. A moment when pain, that ancient teacher, casts its shadow not to destroy, but to reveal. It is the threshold where the old self fractures, where illusion cracks like thin ice under the weight of truth. It is here, in this sacred rupture, that transformation begins. Throughout history, the greatest minds, the titans of innovation and spirit, have walked this path. Edison, whose countless failures illuminated the world; Lincoln, forged in the furnace of loss and division; Carnegie, who learned that wealth alone could never fill the hollows of the heart. Even Disney, who chased the impossible dream through rejection and doubt, all were shaped by the very pain that threatened to undo them. Pain is not the enemy. It is the herald of awakening, the herald of change. It beckons us inward, to the depths where shadows dwell, to the parts of ourselves we have long denied. The soul's journey is never smooth, never comfortable. It is relentless. It demands that we confront the shadows, embrace the broken, and find within them the seeds of wholeness. To awaken is to accept the darkness as a necessary companion of the light. It is to understand that beneath every wound lies the blueprint of our becoming, and that our suffering is not punishment, but invitation. The universe does not torment us without purpose. It calls us to rise, to become more than we were, to align with the pulse of creation itself. If you feel that restless ache inside, the one that whispers in sleepless nights and trembles beneath the surface of your days, know this: your soul is stirring. You are on the cusp of transformation, whether you see it or not. The pain you endure is the soil from which your new self will grow. To answer the call of pain is to embark on a journey inward, a relentless, courageous quest to return home to yourself. It is here, in the labyrinth of the unconscious, where Carl Jung taught us to look, that the real battle is fought. Not in the external world, with its noise and distractions, but within the hidden chambers of the psyche. We carry within us archetypes, eternal patterns and images that shape our perception, our fears, our desires. Among them dwells the shadow, the parts of ourselves we refuse to see, to acknowledge, to love. The shadow is the keeper of pain, the bearer of truths we find too difficult to face. But it is also the gatekeeper to freedom. Every painful experience, every heartbreak, every moment of despair, is a summons to meet your shadow. To sit with it, to listen, and to integrate it. This integration is the alchemy of healing. It transforms fear into courage, shame into acceptance, chaos into order. Consider the phoenix, burning in its own flames only to rise anew from the ashes. So too does the soul burn in the fires of pain to emerge renewed, stronger, more luminous. But this process is not passive. It requires surrender, surrender to the process, surrender to the pain, surrender to the unknown. This is why so many resist transformation. Because to awaken means to let go of old identities, comfortable lies, and familiar patterns. It demands that we become strangers to ourselves, that we tear down the masks and face the raw, unvarnished truth of who we are. Yet, in this vulnerability lies power. Jung believed that the journey toward individuation, the process of becoming a whole, integrated self, is the highest calling of the human spirit. It is the sacred dance of light and shadow, conscious and unconscious, masculine and feminine, order and chaos. The universe speaks to us not in words, but in signs, symbols, synchronicities, those uncanny moments when the outer world reflects the inner. When a song on the radio echoes your secret thought, when a chance meeting changes your path, when a dream unfolds with cryptic clarity. These are not coincidences, they are the language of the soul. To listen is to attune yourself to a deeper rhythm, the cosmic pulse that connects all things. This connection reminds us that we are never truly alone in our suffering, never isolated in our journey. The same forces that carve mountains and guide the stars flow within us, calling us toward harmony and purpose. Your pain is not random. It is part of a grand design, a story written before your birth, a mission your soul chose to undertake. Recognizing this is the first step toward empowerment. It frees you from the victim's narrative and invites you into the role of creator, the artist of your own life. You are both the sculptor and the clay. Your thoughts, beliefs, and actions shape the reality you inhabit. When you embrace the shadows within and listen to the universe without, you begin to align with a destiny that transcends pain. This alignment does not erase suffering. Rather, it transforms it into fuel for growth, resilience, and compassion. Like Lincoln, who saw the nation torn apart yet envisioned unity, or Edison, who failed thousands of times yet never lost faith in the light, you too can harness the power of pain to forge a new path. No journey of awakening is complete without forgiveness, the most difficult, yet most liberating act of all. Forgiveness is not a concession to those who hurt us. It is a gift we give ourselves, a release from the chains of resentment and bitterness. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It binds us to the past and prevents the soul's ascent. Forgiveness breaks these chains and opens the heart to love, not the naive, dependent kind, but the profound, unconditional love that heals and restores. Jung taught that through forgiveness, we integrate our wounds rather than deny them. We embrace the full spectrum of human experience, allowing pain and joy to coexist. This balance is the foundation of wholeness. Letting go is the natural companion of forgiveness. To release old stories, outdated beliefs, and limiting patterns is to create space for transformation. It is the surrender of control, trusting that the universe holds your highest good. To awaken the soul through pain is to rise as a new kind of human, one who walks with open eyes and a fearless heart. You become the alchemist of your own destiny, transmuting suffering into wisdom, darkness into light. You learn to dance with your shadows and sing with your stars. You find freedom in acceptance and power in vulnerability. You become the architect of a life imbued with meaning, connection, and harmony with the cosmic order. The journey is not easy. It requires relentless courage and fierce faith. But the reward is profound, a soul awake, a life transformed, a spirit aligned with the eternal dance of creation. So when pain knocks at your door, do not turn away. Open it wide. Invite the fire in. Let it cleanse and renew you. For it is through this sacred pain that your soul awakens, and through this awakening, you become the light the world has been waiting for. The transformation the soul undergoes is neither sudden nor painless. It unfolds like the slow opening of a lotus flower at dawn, each petal a layer of self-discovery, each unfolding a revelation of what was hidden in shadow. Pain acts as the gardener, pruning away the illusions and defenses we have clung to, forcing us to confront truths we once feared. Consider the myth of Persephone, who was taken into the underworld, forced to endure the darkness before emerging into the light of spring. This descent into the unconscious is the necessary passage through suffering. It is here that the soul wrestles with its deepest fears, its most guarded wounds, and its longing for rebirth. We live in a world that often celebrates ease, instant gratification, and the illusion of control. Yet, the soul knows better. It knows that true growth is forged in the crucible of challenge, in the heat of pain that melts away the dross of superficiality. Just as iron must be heated to be shaped, so too must the spirit be tempered through hardship. In modern times, we see echoes of this in the lives of those who have risen above adversity. Oprah Winfrey, who faced unimaginable childhood trauma, yet transformed her pain into a beacon of empowerment and healing. Viktor Frankl, who endured the horrors of concentration camps, found meaning amid suffering and inspired millions to discover purpose beyond pain. These stories are not mere anecdotes, they are testimonies to the indomitable spirit within each of us. They remind us that suffering is not a dead end but a doorway, a portal to a deeper connection with ourselves and the universe. Within each person lies a map, drawn by the hand of destiny and illuminated by the light of consciousness. Carl Jung called this process individuation, the journey toward becoming the unique self you were always meant to be. It requires courage to walk into the unknown, to face the parts of ourselves we have hidden in shame or fear. The archetypes that dwell in the unconscious are like characters in our personal myth, waiting to be acknowledged. The hero, the wise old man, the trickster, the anima and animus, these figures guide us, challenge us, and ultimately integrate us into a coherent whole. The shadow, in particular, is the repository of all we reject, the rage, the sorrow, the jealousy, the secrets we bury deep within. Yet, the shadow is not an enemy, it is a misunderstood part of the self. To deny it is to live fragmented, to embrace it is to move toward wholeness. When pain awakens the soul, it often reveals these hidden aspects. You may find yourself overwhelmed by emotions you do not understand, driven by impulses that seem foreign. This confusion is the language of the unconscious trying to speak, to be heard. Listening to this voice requires patience and gentleness. It means allowing yourself to feel without judgment, to witness your inner landscape with compassion. Meditation, journaling, and psychotherapy are tools that help illuminate the shadows, turning what was once feared into a source of strength. The universe conspires with your soul in this process. Synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences, begin to occur, nudging you toward your path. You might meet someone who becomes a catalyst for change, read a book that speaks directly to your heart, or experience a moment of clarity amid chaos. These signs are invitations to trust the unfolding. Even when the road is uncertain and the pain raw, the universe is guiding you. As the poet Rainer Maria Rilke said, be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart and try to love the questions themselves. This trust is not passive acceptance but active engagement. It is the faith that your suffering is not meaningless, that it carries within it the seeds of your awakening. The ancient alchemists believed that through the process of solviti coagula, dissolve and coagulate, the base matter transforms into gold. So too does your soul transmute pain into wisdom, despair into hope. Forgiveness is a cornerstone of this transformation. It frees the soul from the chains of resentment and bitterness. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or excusing harm, it means releasing the grip that the past holds on your present. This act of forgiveness often begins with yourself. You may carry guilt or shame for choices made, for wounds inflicted on others or yourself. To forgive yourself is to acknowledge your humanity, your imperfections, and to grant yourself the grace to move forward. As Nelson Mandela showed the world, forgiveness is a revolutionary act of love and liberation. After decades of imprisonment and suffering, he chose to forgive those who oppressed him, paving the way for healing and reconciliation. Forgiveness opens the heart, allowing love to flow where once there was pain. It creates the space for genuine self-love, which Jung saw as essential for true individuation. Without self-love, we remain trapped in cycles of self-judgment and denial. To let go is to make room. Room for new possibilities, new dreams, and new versions of yourself. It requires surrendering control, a daunting challenge in a world obsessed with certainty and stability. But consider the story of Steve Jobs, who was fired from the company he founded, a devastating blow. Yet, through letting go of what was familiar, he opened himself to new creative ventures that eventually changed the world. His pain became the catalyst for innovation and renewal. Letting go is not weakness, it is the strength to embrace uncertainty. It is the wisdom to know that sometimes, to build anew, the old must fall away. In this surrender lies freedom. As you walk this path, you become the embodiment of resilience. You carry within you the light of transformation, shining through the cracks of your brokenness. You learn to hold paradox, joy and sorrow, strength and vulnerability, shadow and light, in a dynamic dance. This is the awakened soul. It knows that life is not about avoiding pain but about growing through it. It understands that suffering is not the end but the beginning of a profound journey toward wholeness. In the words of Carl Jung, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become." Your pain is a part of your story, but it does not define you. You are the author of your becoming. So now, as you listen to these words, know that your soul is awakening. The signs may be subtle: a restless heart, an unspoken longing, a quiet dissatisfaction with the familiar. These are the stirrings of transformation. Embrace them. Walk bravely into the darkness. Trust that the universe is with you. Let your pain be the fire that awakens your soul, the forge that shapes your destiny. The world awaits the light only you can bring. Rise, awaken, transform. To truly understand the power of pain as a catalyst for awakening, we must journey back through the corridors of history and the minds of those who lived before us. Their lives, though separated by centuries, speak the same language of transformation, a language written in scars and triumphs, in loss and rebirth. Take Abraham Lincoln, a man forged in the relentless fires of adversity. He endured deep personal sorrow, the deaths of children, battles with depression, yet through his suffering, he cultivated a wisdom and compassion that shaped a nation divided. Lincoln's story teaches us that pain, when embraced, deepens our capacity for empathy and leadership. It humbles us and lifts us at once. Or think of Thomas Edison, the relentless inventor who tested thousands of filaments before the light bulb illuminated the world. Each failure was not defeat but a lesson, a step closer to breakthrough. Edison's persistence embodies the truth that pain and failure are intertwined with the creative process. To awaken the soul is to persist beyond pain, to see setbacks not as ends, but as the fertile soil of growth. Even in the realm of art, Vincent van Gogh painted through agony. His swirling skies and vibrant colors emerged from inner torment, revealing a truth that beauty and pain are inseparable. His legacy reminds us that through the darkest nights of the soul, light is born, often in forms unexpected and transcendent. These lives, though unique, share a thread: they did not run from pain, they allowed it to speak. They listened deeply to their suffering and, in doing so, uncovered hidden facets of themselves that had long been dormant. Within you, this same potential lies waiting. The journey is never simple. It demands that you look at your own shadows, that you confront the parts of yourself you might wish to hide. Jung's concept of the shadow is not just metaphor but a psychological reality, the sum of all those traits, feelings, and desires you refuse to accept. The angry voice, the jealous glance, the shameful secret. We build walls to keep these parts out, yet the more we deny them, the stronger their hold becomes. Awakening the soul means inviting the shadow to sit beside you, not as an adversary, but as a teacher. It means exploring the darkest corners of your psyche with curiosity, not fear. As the saying goes, what you resist persists. Only through integration does the shadow lose its power to sabotage. This integration is transformative alchemy. It dissolves internal conflicts, heals emotional wounds, and brings forth an authentic self, one that embraces imperfection as a source of beauty and strength. You may feel anger rising, old pains resurfacing, doubts and fears clouding your mind. This turbulence is the storm before the dawn. Do not turn away. Lean in. Your soul is calling you to greater wholeness. The process of transformation also calls us to examine our relationships, with others, but most importantly, with ourselves. We are mirrors for each other's wounds and light. Through love and conflict, we reveal what needs healing. Why do we stay stuck in painful relationships? Often, It is because these connections hold keys to our shadow selves. They force us to confront unresolved pain, unmet needs, and forgotten parts of our identity. Jung taught that every relationship is a dance between conscious desire and unconscious patterns. We attract those who reflect aspects of ourselves we have not yet integrated. Recognizing this truth is liberating. It means that by healing within, we change the quality of our connections. Forgiveness, both given and received, becomes the bridge from pain to freedom. It dissolves the walls built by hurt and opens space for genuine connection. Self-love, too, is essential. It is the foundation on which all other love is built. To love oneself fully is to recognize your intrinsic worth beyond accomplishments, beyond mistakes. It is to nurture your soul as you would a sacred garden. The universe itself participates in this unfolding. It is not a cold, indifferent void, but a living, breathing whole. Your life is intertwined with its cosmic dance. Synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences, serve as compass points, guiding you along your path. Perhaps a phrase in a book lights a fire within you. Perhaps a stranger's smile shifts your perspective. These moments are whispers from the cosmos, urging you onward. To awaken the soul is to develop the art of listening, to signs, to intuition, to the subtle shifts in your inner world. When the soul awakens, it moves beyond the confines of ego and embraces the mystery of existence. It recognizes that pain is not an obstacle but a sacred threshold. In this journey, surrender is a paradoxical strength. It means releasing the need for control while embracing responsibility. It is trusting that even in chaos, there is order, even in darkness, there is light. Pain will come and go, but the awakened soul learns to flow with life's currents, to meet suffering with grace, to dance with joy, to hold space for all that is. Your pain is your transformation. Your suffering, your awakening. And in this process, you are never alone. You are a participant in a grand cosmic story, a story that stretches back to the dawn of time and forward into eternity. Rise, then, with courage. Let your soul be awakened. Let your light shine through the cracks of pain, illuminating your path and inspiring those who walk beside you. The world awaits the brilliance that only you can bring. As you stand at this crossroads of pain and awakening, it's vital to understand that the path forward is not linear. It is a spiral, circling deeper and deeper into yourself, each turn revealing new insights, new challenges, new layers of growth. With every revolution, you shed old skins, like a snake renewing itself, emerging stronger, more vibrant, more aligned with your true essence. This spiraling journey invites you to cultivate what Jung called active imagination, a conscious dialogue between your conscious mind and the vast unconscious. It is a sacred conversation with your dreams, your fears, your hopes, your symbols. When you engage with these inner voices, you unlock hidden wisdom that transcends logic and reason, tapping into the universal language of the soul. Dreams, in particular, are windows into this mysterious realm. They speak to us through metaphor and symbol, often revealing truths too profound for waking speech. Pay attention to them. Record them. Reflect on their messages. They are guides through the labyrinth of transformation. Similarly, creative expression, be it writing, painting, music, or movement, is a powerful means to externalize the internal process. Like the great artists who poured their pain and revelation onto canvas or into song, your creative acts become prayers and testimonies, bridges between the seen and unseen worlds. Transformation also demands a reckoning with time, not just the ticking of the clock, but the deeper rhythm of your personal journey. In a culture obsessed with speed and productivity, the soul's timing is often overlooked. Awakening unfolds in its own season, often when least expected, and never rushed. Consider the ancient oak tree, slow to rise, yet steadfast through centuries. Its strength lies not in haste, but in patience and endurance. So must you learn to trust your process, even when progress seems invisible or stalled. The historical figures who embody transformation remind us of this truth. Nelson Mandela's 27 years in prison were not wasted moments but the soil from which his leadership and vision bloomed. The inventor Nikola Tesla's many failures and years of obscurity preceded breakthroughs that changed the world. Your own patience with yourself is a sacred act. It means embracing your vulnerabilities, honoring your limits, and recognizing that each step, no matter how small, is part of the unfolding. In this unfolding, the importance of community cannot be overstated. Jung emphasized that while the journey of individuation is profoundly personal, it is never solitary. We are beings wired for connection, for shared stories, mutual support, and collective healing. Seek out those who resonate with your truth, who honor your journey without judgment. Whether through friends, mentors, spiritual communities, or therapists, these relationships offer mirrors that reflect your growth and safe spaces to process your pain. Through authentic connection, your awakening is nurtured and sustained. You realize that the shadows you feared in yourself are reflected in others, and that embracing our shared humanity is a path to compassion. As the soul awakens, it also calls you to action, not frantic busyness, but deliberate, inspired engagement with life. You become an alchemist, transforming not only your own pain but the pain of the world. Like Gandhi, who transformed suffering into nonviolent resistance, or Martin Luther King Jr. whose vision of justice rose from the ashes of oppression, your awakening fuels a deeper purpose. Purpose rooted in love, justice, healing, a commitment to bring light into dark places, to speak truth to power, to create beauty from brokenness. This is the ultimate gift of awakening, the invitation to co-create a better world, not despite your pain but because of it. The final truth to hold close is this: awakening through pain is a sacred rite of passage. It is the soul's pilgrimage from fragmentation to unity, from fear to courage, from despair to hope. It is not an event, but a lifelong unfolding. A dance of shadows and light that deepens with every breath. So embrace your pain as a teacher, your suffering as a guide. Let it crack open your heart and soul until you shine with a light uniquely yours. The universe is calling you, to awaken, to transform, to become the fullest expression of yourself. Rise now, for your soul's journey has already begun. Within the heart of this transformation lies a paradox that few dare to embrace, that our deepest wounds are the wellspring of our greatest strengths. Pain, which once seemed to threaten to undo us, becomes the forge in which character is tempered, wisdom is born, and compassion is cultivated. It is a crucible that demands surrender and courage in equal measure. This paradox was lived fully by Helen Keller, who faced the profound darkness of deafness and blindness, yet emerged as a beacon of resilience and insight. Through her suffering, she accessed realms of perception and empathy inaccessible to many, teaching us that limitation is often the gateway to liberation. Similarly, the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, who famously proclaimed, "What does not kill me makes me stronger," invites us to reconsider suffering not as a curse, but as a vital force that shapes the human spirit. Yet strength born of pain is not hardness but depth, a softness tempered by fire, a courage softened by humility. In this light, your suffering is a sacred invitation, an opportunity to dive into the depths of your being and emerge renewed, whole, and awakened. To walk this path means becoming a witness to your own inner story, without judgment, without denial. It requires embracing all parts of yourself, the broken, the beautiful, the light, and the shadow. Jung called this process individuation, a journey toward wholeness that transcends the false dichotomies imposed by ego. This journey is not about perfection but about integration. It is the art of weaving disparate threads, joy and sorrow, strength and vulnerability, hope and despair, into a tapestry that reflects the true complexity of your being. Consider the Japanese art of kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with gold lacquer, highlighting the cracks rather than hiding them. The repaired vessel becomes more precious for having been broken. So too does your soul become more radiant through the cracks of pain. In the tapestry of your transformation, relationships serve as both mirrors and catalysts. The people you encounter reflect your inner world, the parts you have embraced and those still waiting in the shadows. Painful relationships often surface as lessons in disguise. They challenge you to set boundaries, to forgive, to love yourself more fiercely. They compel you to confront patterns of attachment and abandonment, trust and betrayal. Why do we stay stuck in relationships that hurt? Because they hold unresolved wounds, familiar dynamics that feel safe despite their toxicity. To break free is to choose growth over comfort, truth over illusion. Through this conscious choice, relationships become sacred ground, places where healing happens, where the soul stretches toward freedom. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, communicates in subtle yet profound ways. Signs, symbols, synchronicities weave through your life like threads of gold, guiding you toward your destiny. You may notice a recurring number, a song lyric that resonates deeply, a chance encounter that changes your perspective. These are the language of the soul, whispering encouragement and direction. To awaken is to learn this language, to cultivate presence and awareness, to listen deeply to the quiet messages beneath the noise. Like the great explorers who navigated uncharted seas by stars, your inner compass aligns with the cosmic order when you trust the signs and follow the pull of your deepest calling. Letting go is an act of profound strength. It means releasing old stories, grudges, identities that no longer serve your evolution. Steve Jobs, who faced exile from his own company, exemplified this surrender. In losing control, he found the freedom to innovate and revolutionize industries. His pain became the springboard for visionary creation. When you let go, you open space for the new ideas, new relationships, new ways of being. It is the soil where transformation takes root. At the culmination of this journey, you become a beacon, a living testament to the alchemy of awakening. You walk with humility and grace, aware that your scars tell a story of survival and growth. You embody the truth that suffering is not the end but the beginning of profound wisdom and love. In the words of Carl Jung, your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside, dreams, who looks inside, awakens. Your soul is awakening. Rise with courage. Shine with authenticity. Transform pain into the light that guides you and others home. As you journey deeper into this process, you will come to realize a profound truth: suffering is not merely a price to pay but a priceless gift. It is the crucible in which you discover who you truly are, not by what you possess, but by how you rise after falling, by your capacity to love and forgive, by your resilience in the face of inner darkness. Many great philosophers and psychologists have echoed this wisdom. Friedrich Nietzsche famously said, "That which does not kill us makes us stronger." But he also emphasized that through pain and loss, humans attain transcendence, creativity, and a deeper truth of the self. Suffering strips away falsehoods and awakens the primordial essence of your being. Recall the moments when life thrust you into the abyss of despair, moments when standing again seemed impossible. Yet in those very moments, a new life force began to stir within you. This force is neither loud nor clamorous but quiet and relentless, like underground water carving its way through rock. This journey of self-discovery, Jung called the process of individuation, becoming your whole, authentic self. It is the integration of ego and unconscious, light and shadow, consciousness and the depths within. This integration is neither easy nor swift, it demands patience, bravery, and compassion. You will learn to embrace your shadow self, the thoughts, feelings, and behaviors once denied or rejected. This embrace is not weakness, but the strength of truth and wholeness. When you welcome your darkness, you find freedom from invisible chains, from societal masks. A perfect metaphor is the Japanese art of kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with gold, highlighting the cracks rather than hiding them. The repaired vessel becomes more precious for its fractures. So too your soul shines brighter through pain's fractures. In the weaving of your transformation, relationships act as mirrors and catalysts. Those you meet reflect your inner landscape, the parts embraced and those still in shadow. Painful relationships often carry disguised lessons. They challenge you to establish boundaries, to forgive, and to love yourself more fiercely. They compel confrontation with attachment, abandonment, trust, and betrayal patterns. Why do we cling to painful bonds? Because they hold unresolved wounds, familiar dynamics offering a deceptive sense of safety. Breaking free means choosing growth over comfort, truth over illusion. Through this conscious choice, relationships become sacred spaces, where healing unfolds and the soul stretches toward freedom. The universe itself participates in your awakening. It speaks not with words, but with symbols, signs, and meaningful coincidences, what Jung named synchronicities. You might notice repeated numbers, song lyrics that speak directly to you, or chance encounters that shift your perspective. These are soul messages, whispering encouragement and guidance. To awaken is to learn this language, to cultivate awareness, presence, and deep listening. Like ancient mariners who navigated by stars, your inner compass aligns with cosmic rhythms when you trust signs and follow your deepest calling. Letting go is an act of profound power. It means releasing old stories, grudges, and identities that no longer serve your growth. Steve Jobs experienced this when fired from the company he founded, a crushing blow that led to an unprecedented creative renaissance. Pain became his springboard for innovation. Letting go is not surrender to defeat but surrender to possibility. It is fertile soil where transformation can take root. At journey's end, you become a beacon, a living testament to awakening's alchemy. You walk with humility and grace, your scars narrating stories of survival and growth. You embody that suffering is not an end, but a beginning of profound wisdom and love. As Jung said, your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside, dreams, who looks inside, awakens. Your soul is awakening. Rise boldly. Shine authentically. Transform your pain into the light that guides yourself and others home. The awakening of your soul is not a distant ideal but a living, breathing reality emerging through the cracks of your current experience. Every moment of discomfort, every pang of longing, every restless night is a signpost guiding you toward a deeper truth. This truth is not found outside but within, nestled in the stillness beneath the noise of daily life. Imagine a seed buried in the darkness of the earth. It cannot see the sun, yet it is alive, pulsing with potential. It must push through the soil, break apart the walls that confine it, and reach upward despite the weight pressing down. So too must your soul break through layers of conditioning, fear, and pain to reach the light of authentic being. This process is gradual and often nonlinear. There will be moments of progress followed by setbacks, clarity followed by confusion. Yet each step forward, no matter how small, is a triumph of spirit. Throughout history, this dance between light and shadow has been reflected in myth and legend. The hero's journey, as Joseph Campbell described, is an archetype embedded in our collective unconscious. It mirrors your personal odyssey, the call to adventure, the descent into the abyss, the encounter with the self's darkness, and the ultimate return transformed. Think of King Arthur who ventured into the unknown, faced dragons and demons, and emerged a leader who united a fractured kingdom. Or the Buddha who sat beneath the Bodhi tree, confronting the turmoil within, only to awaken into enlightenment. These stories are not just fantasies, they are coded blueprints for the soul's journey, passed down through generations. When you embrace your own hero's journey, you take your place in this timeless saga. You become both the warrior and the sage, fierce in your battles, wise in your reflections. The transformation also requires an attunement to the subtle energies that animate the universe and your body. Practices such as meditation, breath work, and mindful movement awaken your sensitivity to these forces. They help you anchor in the present moment, the only place where true awakening occurs. Through these practices, you learn to witness your thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled. You cultivate a space within where the storms of the mind can pass, revealing the calm that has always been there beneath. This inner sanctuary is your refuge and your power. It is where your soul whispers its deepest guidance, where intuition blossoms, and where healing takes root. Pain, paradoxically, is the doorway to this sanctuary. It is the key that unlocks the barriers between your fragmented self and your whole self. When you open to pain with courage and compassion, you dissolve illusions and awaken to your inherent wholeness. This awakening ripples outward, transforming your relationships, your purpose, and your very way of being in the world. You begin to move with greater authenticity, to speak with clarity, and to act from a place of alignment with your highest self. Ultimately, the journey of awakening is an ongoing dance, a weaving together of shadow and light, suffering and joy, loss and discovery. It is the unfolding of your soul's unique story in the vast tapestry of existence. No matter where you are on this path, remember that the pain you feel is sacred. It is the fire that forges your strength, the river that cleanses your wounds, the wind that carries you toward freedom. Rise into this truth. Let your soul awaken fully, so that you may shine as the brilliant, whole, and luminous being you were always meant to be. The soul's awakening often begins in the quiet moments when the facade of daily life falls away, and we are left face to face with our true selves, vulnerable, raw, and yearning. These moments may come unexpectedly, a sudden loss, a whispered fear, or the aching silence of loneliness. Yet within this vulnerability lies immense power. Consider the life of Maya Angelou, who transformed profound pain and injustice into poetry and wisdom that touched millions. Her voice emerged from struggle, offering a beacon of hope and a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Like her, your pain is the soil in which your unique voice and purpose will flourish. The path of transformation is not without its shadows. At times, you may feel engulfed by doubt, fear, or despair. These feelings are not signs of failure but invitations to delve deeper. Each challenge you face is an opportunity to dismantle old beliefs and emerge renewed. Embrace these trials as sacred teachers guiding you toward wholeness. As Jung illuminated, our unconscious holds a treasury of symbols and archetypes that reflect our inner world. Engaging with these through dreams, art, or reflection reveals hidden wisdom. Your shadow self, once feared, becomes a source of strength when acknowledged and integrated. This integration is the alchemy of the soul, transforming darkness into light. Your relationships mirror this inner work. They reflect your growth and sometimes your wounds. Painful or toxic connections often signal parts of yourself needing attention. Through conscious awareness and forgiveness, both of others and yourself, you liberate your heart and pave the way for authentic connections rooted in love and respect. The universe supports this unfolding with synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that align with your inner journey. They may appear as a chance meeting, a line from a book, or a symbol that resonates deeply. Learning to recognize and trust these signs strengthens your connection to the larger cosmic dance. Letting go is the ultimate act of faith in this process. Releasing old stories, grudges, and limiting identities creates space for new growth. Like Steve Jobs, who faced dismissal only to ignite innovation, your surrender births creativity and transformation. Your journey, though deeply personal, echoes the timeless hero's journey, marked by trials, descent, transformation, and return. Through embracing your pain and integrating your shadow, you step into your fullest self, ready to shine your unique light in the world. Remember, your soul's awakening is an ongoing dance between shadow and light. Embrace it with courage and compassion. Rise from pain as the radiant being you are destined to become. The journey of awakening your soul is a profound and continuous unfolding, one that invites you to embrace every facet of your being with honesty and courage. Each step along this path brings you closer to the deep wellspring of your true self, that essence untouched by circumstance or pain. In this sacred process, remember the story of the lotus flower, a symbol cherished across cultures. Rooted in the mud, it rises through murky waters to bloom in pure radiance. Your soul, too, emerges from the depths of struggle, transforming the very soil of suffering into fertile ground for growth and enlightenment. Transformation calls for deep patience and unwavering faith. There will be moments when shadows loom large, and hope seems distant. Yet, these times are the refining fires that sculpt your inner landscape, revealing hidden strengths and new possibilities. Allow yourself the grace to move slowly, honoring your unique pace. Just as the seasons turn in their perfect rhythm, so does your journey follow a sacred timing known only to the soul. As you navigate this path, cultivate practices that nurture your connection to the present: meditation, mindful breath, reflective journaling. These acts create a sanctuary within, a sacred space where your soul's whispers become clear and your inner wisdom flourishes. The universe speaks in symbols, dreams, and synchronicities, inviting you into deeper trust. Be attentive to these subtle messages, they are guides lighting your way through uncertainty. Embrace forgiveness as a liberating force. Forgiving others and yourself unchains your heart, dissolving barriers that impede love and peace. This act of grace opens the door to self-compassion and authentic connection. Ultimately, your awakening is a gift, to yourself and the world. Rising from pain, integrating shadow and light, you become a beacon of hope, resilience, and truth. Stand tall in your transformation. Shine your light unapologetically. Your soul's journey is the most profound story ever told, unique, sacred, and eternal. The awakening of the soul is not a destination but an eternal journey, a flowing river that carves new landscapes within you, reshaping your understanding of self, others, and the cosmos. It is a sacred dance between surrender and strength, between embracing what is and daring to become what you are meant to be. In this unfolding, your pain is not a random misfortune but a divine messenger. It calls you beyond the superficial layers of existence into the depths where transformation is born. Like the ancient alchemists sought to turn lead into gold, you are invited to transmute suffering into wisdom, despair into hope, and fragmentation into wholeness. This alchemical process is reflected in the lives of those who have walked before you, visionaries, saints, warriors, and artists who have carried their own shadows into light. Their stories remind us that the human spirit is boundless, capable of rising from the ashes of loss and hardship with renewed purpose. Your inner world is vast, a cosmos unto itself filled with archetypes, symbols, and hidden treasures. When you cultivate a dialogue with this inner universe, through dreams, meditation, or creative expression, you unlock doors to insights and healing that transcend the ordinary mind. The shadow self, once feared, becomes a gateway to authenticity when welcomed and integrated. It is in embracing these hidden parts that you reclaim your power and step fully into your being. Relationships mirror this inner work. They reflect your growth and challenge you to expand your capacity for love, forgiveness, and connection. Painful relationships often serve as catalysts, inviting you to confront unhealed wounds and to rewrite your story with compassion. Trust in the subtle guidance of the universe, synchronicities and signs that align with your path. These are the compass points that steer you through uncertainty toward your soul's purpose. Letting go is the profound act of releasing what no longer serves, creating space for new life and deeper freedom. It requires courage to surrender control and to trust the unfolding. You are the alchemist of your soul's journey, transforming pain into light, shadow into wholeness, and suffering into profound awakening. Rise in this truth. Shine your unique light. Your transformation is the gift the world has been waiting for. The awakening soul moves forward with a fierce grace, embodying resilience born not of denial but of deep acceptance. You become both the traveler and the guide, navigating through inner landscapes where light and shadow intermingle in sacred balance. Each scar you bear tells a story of survival and wisdom, each tear shed waters the roots of your transformation. You learn that healing is not a destination but an ongoing dance, sometimes stepping backward, often circling around, yet always moving toward greater wholeness. You come to understand that the greatest freedom lies in embracing your vulnerabilities, for they are the doorways to authenticity. The masks you once wore to shield yourself from pain are gently lifted, revealing the radiant truth beneath, a soul fearless in its imperfections and courageous in its truth. In this radiant authenticity, your relationships deepen and expand. You attract kindred spirits who honor your journey and mirror your growth. You become a beacon for others seeking their own awakening, your light guiding them through their shadows. Your purpose becomes clearer not as a fixed goal but as a living, breathing expression of your evolving self, a harmony with the pulse of the universe that flows through every breath, every choice, every act of love. The universe conspires with you, sending synchronicities and signs that affirm your path. You learn to trust the subtle nudges, the quiet whispers of intuition, and the profound wisdom that arises from stillness. Letting go becomes a sacred art, the release of old patterns, beliefs, and fears that no longer serve your growth. In surrender, you find strength, in release, you find space for the new to emerge. The pain that once seemed unbearable transforms into a sacred flame, illuminating the path to your highest self. It is the fire that melts away illusion, the forge that shapes the soul, the light that beckons you home. You are no longer defined by what has happened to you but by the courage with which you choose to become. Your awakening is a testament to the indomitable spirit within, a spirit that rises, shines, and transforms not only itself but the world around it. So rise now. Step fully into your power. Embrace the sacred journey of your soul. Let your light blaze brilliantly, a beacon of hope and transformation for all who walk this earth. This is your awakening. This is your becoming. And the world awaits the gift only you can give. When pain awakens the soul, transformation is inevitable. Embrace it. Live it. Be it.